In Gaffer, Legends of the Game, you play as the manager, or the Gaffer, for a once incredible but now struggling soccer team. Over the course of 4 years, you'll decide how to manage your team, your staff, and your resources to earn the most reputation and solidify your place as a legend of the game. The game is a unique combination of some great mechanisms. You'll place dice to take actions, you'll build your team by purchasing and releasing players, and you'll use the deck that you built to match up and compete with other teams. This is the main board, and it shows the 6 actions you can take during a turn, along with the conditions for using your dice for those actions. This is the player board, where you'll train your team and build your fan support. You'll have 3 training cards and 3 support cards, and each card has a track you can advance on, which provides you with various benefits. This is a cool twist on the tech track mechanism. These cards are drafted at the beginning of the game, so you can build your own tracks, which will be different from other players and different from game to game. One of the actions you'll take during the game is the transfer action, where you can purchase new players to build your team. Every card has a defense value and an attacking value that will be used during the head-to-head matches. Some player cards also have an ability that can be activated when the player is used in a match. You start each game with 11 players like these, which can win some matchups, but are definitely not as powerful as the player cards in the transfer market. Another action you might take is the hire staff action, where you can add new members to your coaching staff. Each staff member has abilities that let you take additional actions, manage your deck, and generally help you to be more competitive. One type of card you don't want to have in your deck is this exhaustion card. But every time you reshuffle your deck, and at the end of every year, you have to add one of these to your deck. Now these basically junk up your deck, and while you might get away with having a few, a tired team is not a winning team. As you play, you'll find increasing your team's motivation to be really important. Motivation is represented by these tokens, and you can get motivation by using players that have motivation icons on their card. Motivation can be used to mitigate dice rolls, increase defense and attack values, substitute players during matches, and even ignore exhaustion cards that come up in a match. So these are a very handy resource to have. At the end of every year, you'll compete in 2 head-to-head matches. During a match, you'll draw 3 cards from your deck and choose one to go against your opponent. You'll do this 5 times for each match. Here, blue decides to use the 68 defense value, so red is required to choose an attack value. After both players have chosen, you'll reveal the cards and see who has the higher number. Because blue's defense value is higher than red's attack value, blue wins the matchup and a reputation point, but red still gets a motivation token even though they lost the matchup. Winning matches is the most straightforward way to earn reputation, but there are multiple paths to victory. These strategy cards work like personal objectives that give reputation points for meeting certain criteria by the end of the game. But if you don't want to work toward that endgame benefit, you can use these cards to get immediate benefits, and the benefits are better the earlier the cards are used. A quick note about the theme of the game. There are several soccer-themed games on the market that are a lot of fun, but they're often pretty heavy and require a lot of background knowledge, especially the on-field tactical aspects of soccer. These games probably appeal to hardcore gamers who also like soccer, but probably don't appeal to soccer fans who aren't usually gamers or gamers who don't know a lot about soccer. I designed Gaffer to reach both audiences. The theme and the mechanisms are put together in such a way as to be fun, accessible, and meaningful, even to non-gamers and non-soccer fans. Thanks so much for watching, and happy gaming.